What's up, metalheads? How you doing? It's time to, put the kids to bed, even though it's like before 5 in most places. Doesn't matter because this is the top 5 best R-rated comedies. I'm your host, Chance Ellison, and yeah, we're doing this in honor of the Happy Time Murders. Which, look, reviews aside, I'm still gonna go see my Dirty Puppet movie. And to discuss this topic with me, I have a stacked panel. First of all, he is my trusty sidekick. He is Zach Ford. Zach, how you doing, man?
I'm excited to be on. When I was making the list, I realized that I am the perfect person for this. I mean, I'm the perfect person for every show because I have dimples. But with my
That's the
taste,
only
I'm
reason.
definitely it's the only reason I get anything. That's why they hired me to teach without a college degree because I shine my dimples. I have a college degree. I'm joking, but otherwise, I'm happy to be here. Great, laughter is fun.
Yeah, let it be known. Criteria for Full Metal 5 or anything in life, dimples. Next to him, he hasn't been on in a while, but he's whenever I need him, he's always there. I call him old reliable Malcolm Lay. Malcolm, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. It's good to be back and just glad to talk about R-rated movies. I've got lots of interesting ones to bring up.
Oh, for sure, it's gonna be a very interesting topic. I kept this to 2000s and it's 2000s and beyond because if I had to do like the whole scope of cinema, it would take forever. Next to him, he is the editor supreme, Big Papa, Jeff Baryu. Jeff, what's up?
Man, I'm doing excellent. It's been a hot minute since I've been back on Full Metal 5, so it's great to be back on with you guys. Got the kid currently asleep, so we can say all the fucks and the shits and the cocks that we want. So,
Jeff, what's up?
Whoa!
Right, Jeff busted through that glass ceiling, so blame him for anything.
Maybe it's the alcohol. I don't know yet. I mean, let's keep
it probably is the alcohol.
I ain't too drunk yet for this chicken.
Drinking during this show is highly encouraged. And finally, rounding out the panel, his first time on this show, it is Jonathan Peck. Jonathan, what's up?
Very good, Chance. Very good. Very good. I'm having the fucking time around you, these people.
Okay, well, yeah, we're just not even we're hitting the ground running with the R-ratedness of this show. So
fucking straight
here on Full Metal 5, it's not gonna be like yesterday where we discuss. No, this is the show where we yell at each other and get pissed because picks do or do not make it on the list. So the way this works is we curate a top 5 list right here live for you. And the way this works is we have 3 different selection processes. The first one is the nominations period. We are each going to go around and nominate a R-rated comedy, and until we get to a top 7. In order for a movie to make the top 7, it has to get 3/5 majority votes. So I will start with what is personally my favorite R-rated comedy of the 2000s. I like the movie for its smart writing, its great characters, and really just it's probably going to come out a lot, but it's portrayal of a modern day high school, and that is 2007's Superbad. Superbad, of course, written the first script written by the writing team of Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg, based on an idea that Seth Rogen had when he was 16. I think this completely captures, that youthful R-rated feel because like high school kids are not as they're portrayed in a lot of movies. They are dirty, they are vile, they are disgusting creatures, and this movie really portrays that. Jonah Hill and Michael Cera are both great. They have fantastic chemistry. You have a great breakout performance from Christopher Mintz-Plasse. Seth Rogen and Bill Hader as the cops, they always get a huge laugh. There's so many great lines, so many great moments. Early performance from Emma Stone, she's great in the film. It's so much about this film works. I love it, and I really think it deserves a spot on the top 7. So I'm going to go to Zach first. Zach, Superbad, does it make top 7?
Yeah, Superbad, as well as another movie around the same time. I like watched so much that year it came out. I was 18 years old when Superbad came out, so I couldn't be more perfect for me to go through, my senior year as they go through their senior year. And I need to revisit because all my memories is just kind of, even though it's really broad and kind of exaggerated in its sense of comedy, there's still such a realistic relationship between their friendship and how they talked with each other that I really related to and hit. But yeah, Superbad Michael Cera has never been funnier, and we have seen that through his career. So they succeeded with that, and succeeded in making Jonah Hill a star. Who would have predicted that Jonah Hill was going to be the star out of those two?
Everybody?
Yeah,
Future
everybody.
Oscar nominated, 2-time Oscar nominated Jonah Hill.
No one would have called Oscar nominee, but they would have definitely said Jonah Hill would be the star out of those two.
Oh, I was high on the Michael Cera train between that and Arrested Development and Juno, so I was the wrong one. But I'm a yes with Superbad.
All right, so that is one yes for Superbad. I'm gonna go.
My nickname through high school, Superbad.
No, it is not. Stop lying.
No, it's not. No one's calling you Superbad. No one will ever call you Superbad. Superbad is a dumb fucking downtown thing. You fuck.
Actually, and with that outburst, I'm gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, Superbad, does it make top 7?
It's on my list, but it's not a top 7. Even though it's very funny and I do laugh so much, I'm gonna give it a no though. Even though I love the movie and it's pretty funny though, I think there are 7 better comedies than Superbad though. That's not to take away from Superbad though. It's a really funny movie, great lines in the film though. I think some of them are a little much better films afterwards. So I'm gonna get a slight no.
You're breaking my heart, John. You're breaking my heart.
I'm stopping. This top 7 rule is dumb shit. Okay, you can broaden your horizons. You don't get to choose all fucking 7 movies. So let some of these things go in. Okay, I have fucking 25 movies I'm gonna say yes to because it's better than getting some dumb shit when someone inevitably brings up stupid shit out of Step Brothers. So I'm gonna make sure I say yes so Step Brothers can't get in. That's why you should say yes to Superbad. You have a chance to change your answer now.
Who fucking cares?
Wow, two outbursts in the first nomination. There's gotta be some kind of record. I'm gonna go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, Superbad, does it make top 7?
No, I enjoyed it when it first came out. I rewatched this recently. I don't find it funny anymore. I really don't. No,
Interesting.
I'm not McLovin it.
Ooh, not McLovin it, not one bit. All right, so Jeff, it is up to you. Superbad, does it make top 7?
Oh man, yeah, I'm with Zach. Like this came out like right when I was in high school, so there is a lot of sentimental ties to this movie. I would say it really kind of spoke to the high schooler in me, and it was just so funny. I mean, who couldn't love this movie? I mean, it came out of nowhere. No one expected this to be as good as it was. I was like straight up like, wow, this is one of the best comedies of the 2000s easily. So this would be a definite yes for me. I mean, Seth Rogen and Bill Hader as the cops are just the best thing ever. I love the whole liquor store questionnaire with them. I was like, he looks like Eminem. Eminem, let's say, with his mouth more agape? Was he like a chocolate?
This is looking at Eminem.
Oh, so I'm not much.
Yeah, all right. So that's it. Superbad is the first movie to make the top 7. And Jeff, you were the deciding vote last time, so I'm gonna let you go with the next nomination.
All right. No, I'll go with one that I don't think is gonna make it because I don't know. I just don't feel 100% confident, but I want to put it out there because when I think of a good comedy, I think of something that's quotable, rewatchable, and just something that just makes you laugh. I mean, that's the main point of a comedy. And this to me had hit all the marks for me. And I got to sing the song. So if you all know the words with me, sing along with me.
Oh, Christ.
Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in my van every Sunday. She tells him she's in church, but she doesn't go. Still, she's on her knees, and Scotty doesn't know. I mean, Eurotrip was just so much fun. I mean, I loved this movie so much. I mean, does it hold up as well? Not as much as some others, but man, this movie was just a lot of fun. I mean, it's tough to get this list down. I don't know if it's going to make it, but I wanted to at least throw it out there. So Eurotrip's a lot of fun, guys.
All right, so Eurotrip is on the table. I'm going to go to me first this time. And I always say Eurotrip is like the best American Pie movie is not an American Pie movie. There are some really funny bits, like the whole bit of the Vatican's pretty funny. But that's really okay. And Matt Damon. Matt Damon's also cameoing as the I forget the character's name, but
he was just the lead singer of that
Yeah,
band.
the lead singer of the random band. But like Matt Damon was really funny. But at the same time, Yeah, you call it, Jeff. It doesn't hold up as well as some other comedies from this era. So I'm gonna head and gonna say no to this one. I'm going to Zach next. Zach, Euro Trip. Does it make top 7?
I mean, I'm looking at the list of 87 movies that I made, and trying to even think how Eurotrip matches up with these movies is nonsense.
I wanted an excuse to sing the song.
There's so many good movies you can pick that I would still say no to. So when you say a horrible movie, it's really easy for me.
Well, it's not necessarily horrible. It's a lot of fun. I mean, I wanted to sing the song. Really, I was hoping somebody would join in with me, but y'all broke my heart.
Well,
I was
shock and awe. I was in shock and awe that was the first nomination. So Zach, it's a no from you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's a no.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit Jonathan next. Jonathan, Euro Trip. Does it make top 7?
Gonna say no on Eurotrip because I never saw Eurotrip.
Okay, so your vote doesn't count, so we'd make it anyways.
No.
And Jeff's baby is so upset at this nomination that he actually woke up and he is now crying.
Yeah, nice going, guys.
He's upset at Jeff's taste. How could you like Eurotrip?
How could you like Euro Trip? God damn it, Dad.
I will say this though. I have a movie is sort of the better version of Eurotrip in some capacities. I'm just gonna leave it there. So
road trip.
Okay, so vacation. No, well, maybe we'll get to that. But either way, with that, even if Malcolm said yes, Euro Trip does not make top 7. But Malcolm, what would you have said to Euro Trip? Malcolm's gone. He has left this conversation.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
I'm sure he'll be back. God, Euro Trip is derailing the show. So with that, I'm gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, what's your first nomination?
Well, he just mentioned about sing along right here. My R-rated comedy is also sing along, and also one of my favorite comedies of all time. And even I watched this movie a few days ago, even before you chance offered me to join the R-rated comedy show right here. And I think I'm going with one of my favorite comedies. And I built this special shrine of this movie. I'm gonna go with the Blues Brothers.
Wait, hold on. You clearly misunderstood the topic. It's R-rated comedies 2000 and beyond. So we really doesn't qualify.
Wait,
look at the title.
But you sent me like best R-rated comedy. You didn't say 2000 and beyond.
No, it's 2000s and beyond. Buddy.
I swear I told you that.
No, you didn't type it. You didn't send me like 2000 and beyond though. That's what you.
Yes, I did. I literally said from 2000 onward.
Oops. Wait, I messed up.
Okay, well, while you
I got another one. I got another one actually. I got another one. I take that.
All right, go ahead. Go with God. Go.
Yeah, scratch that. I messed
up. You want to change your answer to Superbad now?
No. Well, some good news is I had some mostly in my list of early 2000 R-rated comedies onward. So basically, that's some good news. Okay, I'm gonna go with my second thing. Actually, switch to my number one thing. I'm picking. Speaking of the Happy Time Murders, I got this special little friend to help me out. Ted? Yes. Yes. Okay. Ted, when I first saw it, I never thought I would let this hard in the movie so badly. Like, you got basically the movie's premise is Mark Wahlberg hanging out and drinks and talks with a teddy bear. By the premise alone is the get you laughs right here. Then you got Seth MacFarlane performs and directs the movie as the teddy bear itself, though. It's so funny. There's so many shenanigans throughout the movie, though, including the Flash Gordon stuff right here, the old shenanigans him and Mark Wahlberg into. Just overall a funny movie, though. And the supermarket scene I can't say for much more. Just I had to laugh at that scene. We'll place my nomination for Ted.
Okay, so Ted is on the table, and we'll give Malcolm proxy first because he's not here. He's coming back in, but Malcolm gives Ted a surprisingly gives it a it's Malcolm, not surprisingly. He gives it a yes. So Jeff, I'm gonna go to you for if you actually give your diatribe. So Ted, does it make top 7?
This was a movie I did think about. I remember liking Ted and thinking it was funny. I think it's just as of recent, Seth MacFarlane's humor is just kind of on a downward slope for me. So I mean, it was funny, but not my top 7 though. So I'm gonna go with a no on this one.
All right, I'm gonna go to me next, and yeah, I liked Ted a lot when I first saw it. I still liked it when I on a rewatch. It's kind of diminishing returns though. I still think it's a good movie. Definitely the best movie Seth MacFarlane's done as a director, because he wasn't Logan Lucky. But yeah, much
You're
I
going
like
for
Ted.
acting or directing. You just say directing, not acting.
Yeah, just as a director, I think that's still by far his best film. And much I do like Ted, I'm gonna have to edge towards no on this one. So Zach, it's up to you. Does Ted make top 7?
So I think something that's going to be a kind of reoccurring theme throughout the show is, humor is the thing that of a movie that is most likely to age. Humor changes, but becomes appropriate, changes over time, and so a lot of movies we found funny in the moment just age poorly. And I think even though Ted was only 2012, it still seems pretty dated in some of its humor, as is Seth MacFarlane in general has kind of aged out, I think, comedically. So I actually didn't love Ted in the moment. I think the plot got a little too kooky, and I just kind of zoned out. So Ted for me is a no.
Yeah. Plus, I should mention, like, I have like Winnie the Pooh plushie that's looking right at me, so I can't say
You made this
I
guy
can't say yes to Ted while I have this staring back at me. So
You made this
Ted
guy
does
very
not
angry
make
too.
top 7. So I'm gonna go to Zach next. Zach, you get to give your first nomination.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with the other movie I said from 2007 that I maybe saw in theaters like 7 times. And when I've been on past shows, or people who know me, I don't rewatch movies like ever. If I've seen something 3 times, that's a huge deal. But me and my friend in high school were all about Knocked Up. Knocked Up at the moment was I think, unlike any of the R-rated comedies we saw that century so far, just because I think it added some really real heart to it instead of some of the artificial heart you might find in some of the other movies. This was really true and emotional and real and raw and honest, but then also just laugh out loud funny throughout. And they had all the Judd Apatow kind of cast of characters coming in together. That made me feel like I can watch these guys in movies every year. Because they just interact so well with each other. You really feel like they're friends, and you want to be friends with them. And Seth Rogen just kind of started off one of the hottest comedy years or few years in history, I think. So Seth Rogen or Knocked Up is my nomination.
Seth Rogen's also his nomination.
Despite
The
Catherine.
movie Seth Rogen. All right, so Knocked Up is up for nomination. I'm gonna go to Jonathan first. Jonathan, Knocked Up, does it make top 7?
All the things that he said is right. It also works on his strengths, but also at the same time works on his weakness, though. Even though I like Knocked Up very much, all of what Zach has said is true right here. I still think the movie right here, though, it kind of sort of suffers sort of overstaying their welcome a bit right here. It's like the last 20 or 30 minutes of the film, though. It's not a knock on the movie. It sort of overstays their welcome right here. So I'm going to give it a no.
All right, so that's 1 no for Knocked Up. You're killing this, John. Killing this, John. All right, going to Jeff next. Jeff, Knocked Up, does it make top 7?
The funny thing with this movie, when it came out, my sister was pregnant at the time, so this had like another, much like Superbad, this had some interesting tie-ins to it. But yeah, this was probably like one of the best examples of natural flowing comedy. It didn't rely on so many like slapstick type moments. It didn't rely on the forced jokes. It really just kind of flowed really well together, and it was really refreshing to get something like that and around a subject matter that is scary to people. And I absolutely loved this movie. I thought it was so much fun. It is so enjoyable. The characters are great. The dialogue is great. It's very memorable. I give this a yes. This is a solid yes.
All right, I'm gonna go to me next. Yeah, Knocked Up. I was a little later to the game on Knocked Up
because you were 8 when it came out.
I was 10.
Close.
But yes.
Close.
So I had to like play catch up later. But yeah, the first time I watched it, I was surprised how much I loved it. Like I really I love Seth Rogen as like a writer and just comedic personality. I think the dude's like infinitely hilarious. This is the first time I've liked Katherine Heigl in anything. I think I just don't like her as an actress. I think she usually to me she's a nightmare on set and on screen. But except for this one, she is super endearing. She's surprisingly super likable, which is a very big stretch for Katherine Heigl. And yeah, like even like several out of the side characters, like Jonah Hill's also in this movie. Like all his friends in like that he lives with they all get a huge laugh. Paul Rudd's amazing. Leslie Mann's great. John's right. Like many Apatow movies, it does overstay its welcome, but despite that, I'm still gonna give it Knocked Up a yes. And Knocked Up with that makes top 7. Malcolm, what would you have said about Knocked Up?
I would have said no because it's not one of my favorite Seth Rogen movies. I think he's done better comedies than that would make this list.
Okay, well, Malcolm, you might get to talk about one of those comedies because it is your nomination, sir.
I'm actually not going to bring that up. Another one of his comedies just yet. I'm going to bring up one that I'm pretty sure I know what Zach thinks of this movie, but I'm going to bring up Deadpool. Deadpool.
I'll use Zach's thoughts about this.
Yeah, this is one of the first R-rated comic book movies that have come out. It's Deadpool done correctly, not the whatever the hell it was in X-Men Origins, but this is Ryan Reynolds at his best. I mean, next to Rogan, Ryan Reynolds is one that does a lot of great comedy, and like the supporting cast was great. I mean, like the storyline and even the fourth wall breaking is like, I mean, the sequel was great. I just think the first one was still that little bit better with the comedy. So Deadpool's I'm bringing up.
Right on. So Deadpool is nominated, and well, get ready for outburst number 3, because Zach, you get to say your piece first. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think when we are getting people for the show, you need to really make sure they know what the fucking topic is. We have Jonathan who thinks it's before 2000, and Malcolm thinks it's the shittiest fucking comedy. Okay. Because that Deadpool, #1 for thing that has ruined fucking comedy. It has made me like question youth culture and people's humor because it's not funny at all. They just took like, we're gonna make an R-rated movie and just like shouted every fucking cuss word or like thing that had to do with a penis out and said that's in the movie without having any wit or any kind of actual joke to it. It's all just so fucking easy, and I don't understand why it's funny. And as a superhero movie, it's just mediocre. I actually will probably like it better if they got rid of fucking Ryan Reynolds. He is like so hot and cold. If you let Ryan Reynolds on the loose, he just like fucking just coming everywhere, coming with his R-ratedness. That's what he just ejaculates nonsense. I like Ranch. I love Knocked Up, but there has to be some kind of wit or thoughtfulness behind the Ranch, not just for the sake of it. And that's all this shit is. And you guys are all fools for it, and it makes me like you a little less.
Okay. So I don't know, keeping the outburst count, but we're now at 3. So, Zach, I'm assuming that's a yes for you from Deadpool.
Definitely for the worst list I guess we're doing now.
Okay, all right. So that's a no from Zach. 1 no for Deadpool. Cutting to Jonathan next. Jonathan,
Your friend, this little friend right here.
So is that a yes from you?
Well, this is sort of a tricky thing though, because I love Deadpool and any of the sequel. I liked it. It's just a little less better, but still I find it very funny. But I don't even know it was the best R-rated superhero list is on the list. But if I compete with R-rated comedies, that's also sort of not fair with the other comedies themselves. So even though I'm with you guys, it's very funny, and I find it Ryan Reynolds to be perfect as Deadpool. I'm gonna give it a no though, because I love Deadpool very much, but I don't think it's not fair to the other R-rated comedies past 2000s to compare on the list. So I'm gonna give it a no.
Not sure what that reasoning is, but okay, Deadpool. That is 2 no's for Deadpool. I'm gonna go to Jeff. Jeff, Deadpool doesn't make top 7.
I was like, can we all just agree that Zach had the best grumpy old man burst in the history of Full Metal 5 right now?
Oh yeah, because it's that, and I guess like things that trigger Zach for keeping a list. So it's Deadpool and Cars 3.
But going back to Deadpool, I liked the movie. I really did like the movie. It was very enjoyable. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, but as far I don't see this being in top 10 even of like the best comedies post 2000. Like, no, I mean, it's a fun movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I know Zach's kind of like, oh no, it's not making the list. Trust me, it's a no from me, but wasn't one I thought about, honestly.
All right, so Zach, you can breathe easy because Deadpool does not make top 7, and yeah, say what you will, Zach. I like Deadpool a lot. I really do enjoy the movie. I actually watched it for example with my mother the other day, and yeah, she really liked it too. And I like the movie, but yeah, I think I would have given it a no also. So that is it. We are going back to me, and I'm gonna go with someone who's a fan favorite director. He's someone who people like love and respect a lot, and this is my favorite movie of his. I'm going with Hot Fuzz. I really like Edgar Wright as a director and a comedic personality. I've liked every single movie he's made, but Hot Fuzz is my favorite. First of all, I think it makes complete use of the R rating. It's violent while also being like surprisingly like unviolent. I love the whole usage of making a like gritty but realistic police movie. It's a movie that like every time I watch it, I discover a new joke. Simon Pegg is as usually is an Edgar Wright movie is awesome. Nick Frost is great. The entire supporting cast just delivers. I think this movie is phenomenally hilarious, and I think it should be on top 7. And I'm gonna go to Zach first this time. Zach, do I got outburst number 4 or?
Yeah, fuck. I'm just gonna continue fucking Deadpool. I wasn't done yet. No.
Careful, Zach. You have a child. Masters of us. Just be careful. You have a child.
Don't worry.
I have 4 days left. I have to go back to fucking school, so I gotta get all my fucks out now, so I don't get fired when I swear in front of the children.
Here's my homework, Mr. Ford. Fuck you.
It's hard. It's hard. So I'm very pleasantly surprised that's the Edgar Wright when that was brought up, because I just assume that I'm like very much in the minority that's my favorite Edgar Wright movie. Yes. Hot Fuzz is great, and most of the comedies I like, I respond more to humor within the dialogue and not usually anything within the plot or like big gags. But the plot of Hot Fuzz and the twist it takes is just so funny, and it's one of the funniest twists in a movie there is, and that reason alone gives it a yes for me.
All right, so that's 1 yes for Hot Fuzz.
I feel like when I don't yell, it just lets everyone else down.
We just like love. We just need a show on Full Metal Media. Just what's grinding my gears with Zach Ford. Jonathan, I'm gonna go to you next. Does Hot Fuzz make top 7?
Fuck yes. Not only is it my favorite Edgar Wright movie, it's one of my favorite comedies. Like top 15 favorite comedies ever. Like both of you said, when the more you rewatch the movie, there are more gags and more jokes. Not only for the visual gags, even the dialogue though. It's more detailed when you tell me the joke through and through right here. It's not only making fun of action films, it kind of films like an action film itself though. Like even the small tiniest details like signing checks, and even the paperwork, though, it feels like an action film cut. So like the way Ridley Scott, Tony Scott, and Michael Bay shoot action like this, but only use the small details when you're doing paperwork right here. That's the more funnier when you're doing the joke like that. So I'm definitely yes. And the one little Edgar Wright pull real quick, I had to ask him a question once during a convention that he visited last year, though, and he complimented my question very well, though. So just saying.
Nice. Awesome. Well, we got a celebrity story out of the way. That's for you playing Full Metal 5 bingo. We got celebrity story and outbursts. So keep that in mind. So Hot Fuzz is the third movie to make top 7. Malcolm, what would you have said?
I would have said yes. I mean, it's got so many lines. I mean, the scene where he's talking to commissioners, like they bring all the different commissioners down just to tell him that he's being sent away to this place out of the way because he's doing too good of a job. Just such a great movie.
All right. And Jeff, would we have had a clean sweep on Hot Fuzz?
Oh, it would have been an easy clean sweep. I mean, you could have had all 3 of the Cornetto films easily in this one, but I wanted to kind of like looking at my personal list. I was like, I wanted to choose one of them, and Hot Fuzz was easily the funniest one out of all of them. Shaun of the Dead is really close behind, but Hot Fuzz, easy, is the best one.
Yeah, it's the same way for me. But Jeff, we get to go to you next, so you get the next nomination.
All right.
You
Looking at my
movie this time.
Okay, I'll nominate one that should be discussed. I think a lot of people might like this one. This was one that, much in the same way of Superbad, this kind of caught people off guard, especially given the title of it. You would not expect something like this to be as funny as it was, and it was very. It had great dialogue and it just flowed. And it's another Judd Apatow film, and that is The 40-Year-Old Virgin. I absolutely adored this film. It was so funny. It had a lot of memorable dialogue. It had a lot of memorable scenes, and it just seemed to overall flow really well. I mean, I think it's great.
Okay, are we not going to address the way that he says Judd Apatow?
Oh, can I hear it again?
I don't. That's
not joke.
I said Judd Apatow, didn't I?
You misspoke it again.
Okay, yeah.
Apatow. Tomato chance.
Apatow. So, but either way, no matter what its name is, 40-Year-Old Virgin is up for top 7. I'm gonna go first, and yeah, I give this a giant. I guess a giant yes. I already talked ad nauseum, and then later got yelled at by Zach when I nominated this for the best coming of age movies of the 2000s. But I think either way, this deserves a ton of credit. This is possibly one of the best movies of the decade. Not possibly, it is one of the best comedies of the 2000s. Steve Carell is fantastic. He gives such a great performance, one of the best of the decade. I'll go as far to say that. Yeah, you get great last name, Seth Rogen, Paul Rudd, great early performance from Kevin Hart, great early performance from Jonah Hill. Captain Keener's really good in the movie. Top to bottom, just an overall great comedy. I'm gonna go yes on 40-Year-Old Virgin. Gonna cut to Zach next. Zach, 40-Year-Old Virgin, does it make top 7?
First of all, I'm gonna in my new career as Weird Al Yankovic, and I'm creating my new songs. So you say tomato, I say tomato. You say Apatow, I say Apatow. And also one other off-topic thing, but everyone thinks that Mr. Paul Yama is so perfect as movie trivia here trying to get Mean Girls nominated. Guess what, Paul? Mean Girls, great dumbass. I am now the champion, the doubles champion of this. Otherwise, I'm done. My answer is no. I like it. It's just not as much as that other Apatow movies.
All right, so that is a no from Zach. I'm gonna go back to Jonathan. 40-Year-Old Virgin. I forgot I was on the table for a second. 40-Year-Old Virgin. Let's make top 7.
It's not even my list. Even I will give it a bye. Actually, though, like you said, is really funny. You get to see early Steve Carell, early Seth Rogen, early Paul Rudd, though. Early people you see later on will go on to do better work, though. And I will actually going to say it's my best Apatow directed movie, actually, right here. And also, I kind of find it quite enjoyable, while funny around the humor. Well, it's just kind of settled down right here without overstaying its welcome a bit. So I'm just giving a yes.
Okay, so that is a yes. 40-Year-Old Virgin makes top 7. I'm just gonna rename this episode, Full Metal 5 featuring Zach Rants. So I'm gonna go back on the re-upload.
Hey, if you like my rants, this is my podcast. Whatever it's called, Fireside Chit Chat, with a new logo brought to you by Jeff soon.
You can't even plug right. Okay, Malcolm, what would you have said about 40-Year-Old Virgin?
as much as I love 40-year-old version, I would have given it a no because I think Geppetto's made better movies.
Did you say Geppetto? Did you say Geppetto?
Geppetto,
Yeah,
in addition to making puppets, is also a very prolific filmmaker.
But no, Judd Apatow, I think, has made better movies. There's a 40-year-old version I think is dated, but it is what it is.
Okay, now it's official. Somebody make us Full Metal 5 bingo, because what seems to be on there? A rant, mispronunciation, and just
Zach
And
Ford.
Greta Gerwig.
and Zach Ford rant, mispronunciation.
Celebrity greetings. Celebrity.
I'm at BIN right now.
The amount of times Champ freezes and we all struggle to take over the lead. That should be on the bingo card.
and my Wi-Fi freezing up. That needs to be a slot too. So, Malcolm, we're going to you next. What is your next nomination?
I'm going to go for another Ryan Reynolds movie because he's made a few other good R-rated comedies. This one is one that I'm not going to play the certain game that is played in this movie on air, but it's rating. This is a great movie. It's Ryan Reynolds came out in 2005. It's just a great movie with a lot of comedy and good performances, and it's just one of those ones where you watch and there's always a funny moment in every scene, and a lot of shenanigans happen as well.
Also, another spot for bingo. The mention of the word shenanigans. So, Waiting.
It was the name of the restaurant in that movie, so it's sort of
that
pretty hard not to talk about.
That it was. So, Waiting is up for top 7. I'm gonna go to, I think Jeff got the last nomination, so I'm gonna go to him first.
This is a movie I completely forgot about. I mean, I think we've all at some point worked in the food industry. I mean, I think a lot of people can relate to some of the stuff in that movie in some ways. And it was a nice tongue-in-cheek style movie. I mean, like, a lot of the things did make sense and a lot of the things really did hit. Top 7, though? No. Top 10? No. Top 20? No. I mean, it's a fun Comedy Central style movie. If you're watching Comedy Central at 3 p.m. and this is on and you watch it, it's not a bad time. You're not going to be like, that was a waste of time. This was like, you'll look and be like, okay, that was fine. You know, I like Waiting, but it's a no.
I bet like the producer of that movie wished Jeff was a critic at that time, because that would have been on the box. The perfect movie for 3 in the morning, for 3 in the afternoon on Comedy Central. I'm going to me next. Yeah, Waiting's one that I generally do forget about in Ryan Reynolds' filmography, and because of that, I'm gonna have to give it a no. Going to Zach. Zach, Waiting. Does it get what is you give it?
Yeah, so Jeff just stole my whole fucking response. Like word for word almost. However, I would have changed 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. Comedy Central movie.
Oh, okay.
That's what it is for me. It was like something I discovered watching late on Comedy Central, and it's really enjoyable when you should be asleep. But that's kind of the best thing. It is. I do want to say, however, Justin Long, probably the only time he's ever been good.
Hey.
I actually also like it. I appreciate Accepted too, so
okay.
He has his moments.
Other things though, to be fair though.
Jesus.
Okay, I'm a no.
Just add that, also things to the list of triggers, Zach. So also Billy Crudup and Justin Long. Other things added to the Jack trigger list, but with that, Waiting does not make top 7. Jonathan, what would you have said about Waiting?
I would have said no either way because I never saw the film, so I can't really judge on that.
Okay. Well, either way, wouldn't have made it either way. But you got the next nomination, so go ahead, Jen.
This is actually might be very difficult because if I say one of these movies, it's sort of an Apatow thing, but I'm just gonna pick a non-Apatow produced yet because I'm gonna pick this comedy first. I don't want to know what the panel think. Remember I mentioned when he said earlier about sing-alongs and a better version of Euro Trip. I just wanted everybody to chant with me by saying this. Frank the Tank, 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 Frank the Tank. Come on, guys. It's old school, guys. Old school. Talk about quotable movies. Old school has legit the funniest moments of the movie, though. Not only we're going streaking! We're going streaking! Like that. It's such a funny movie. It made me sort of introduce Will Ferrell into movies right here, and the great supporting cast around him. And also great supporting cast around with Vince Vaughn, Luke Wilson, Jeremy Payne, like the evil, despicable, horrible, deep person. Reality in real life, though. Ironic, but right now plays it very well, though. And the funniest part of the movie for me right here is about the challenges afterwards, though. It just made the movie for me very funny, very quotable. My movie is Old School.
All right, so Old School is on the table. I'm gonna go to Malcolm first this time. Malcolm's Old School make top 7.
I actually completely forgot this was R-rated, but it's a yes for me. I love the movie. I can watch it all the time. It's just so great.
Okay, so that's a yes from Malcolm. I'm gonna go to Jeff next. Jeff, Old School.
This is definitely a very funny movie. I think it just misses my top 7 though. I mean, this is definitely very quotable. It's very enjoyable. I mean, Blue will always be my boy. I mean,
you're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Blue will always be our boy, but it just misses my top 7. So unfortunately, no.
What does your baby say?
Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z Z.
Okay, cool.
That's baby top part. You're my boy, Blue.
we have not upset Jeff Baby again yet. So
when Malcolm crashes again, the baby gets his vote.
Yeah, if Malcolm goes again, his baby gets a spot. So yeah, going to me, Old School I think is very funny. But yeah, it missed my list barely, and I think Todd Phillips has a better comedy in the 2000s, so I'm going to give it a no. So Zach, you are the deciding vote. Does Old School? Old School make top 7.
Old School has the disadvantage of me not seeing it since 2004 or whatever it came out. I liked it then, but I was also a dumb teenager. I liked most stupid shit. So I mean, I'm holding that against it. That's unfair, but I would say no.
All right, so that is it, and that closes the book on Old School. So Zach, you get to finish out the cycle. Give us your next nomination.
Okay, I can't decide. Pick a number 1 through 7.
I'll go 6.
Okay, we're staying very much on trend. So still kind of in the Judd Apatow realm, not a directed movie, but still going with that vibe and going with kind of like vulnerable male characters and exploring that. And really brought, I think, one of my favorite comedic actors off the small screen and the big screen. That's Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Jason Segel loves the Muppets, so therefore I love him. He's an important hero of my life. So Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I think, is laugh out loud funny throughout. Like the dick scene is the big scene when he shows his penis, and it could be just shock funny, but they like had so much vulnerability to it that I think that is like the wit and the heart that Deadpool misses and pulling off jokes. If Ryan Reynolds shows this movie his penis in Deadpool, it's just gonna be dumb shit. Jason Segel better at showing his penis on screen than Ryan Reynolds. Therefore, it's a yes.
That's it. Okay, that's. Okay, just add that to Zach's criteria.
I have to cut myself off at some time.
I have BING. I need that's all I need.
That's all I need. Okay, so yeah, add that to the bingo slice. Mention of Jason Segel's penis. So Forgetting Sarah Marshall is up for top 7. I'm gonna go to Jonathan first. Jonathan, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, does it make top 7?
I almost forgot to put Forgetting Sarah Marshall on my list, though, and I kind of shoot myself for this, but I will give it a yes, though. It is also very funny, though, and also very heartfelt around here, and at the same time, very relatable. And you think there's one direction you think you might go, but sometimes that's not the direction you may think, though. It's also very interesting that Segel made this movie along with Dracula, the musical right here, which sort of foreshadowed him to work with the Muppets years later along with it. I think it was a nice little turn right over here, though, so I'm planning to give it a yes.
All right. Malcolm, going to you next. Is Forgetting Sarah Marshall make top 7?
I haven't seen this since it came out. I remember when I first saw it, I found it okay, but forgetting Sir Marshall is pretty forgettable, and it's for
Just
that
like
I'm probably going to say no.
All right. And cutting to Jeff, forgetting Sarah Marshall. Does it make top 7?
This one's tough. Because I thought about this movie a lot, and it's very funny. It is so good. I mean, this is probably one of the only times I enjoyed Russell Brand on screen. I mean, him playing Aldous Snow is like the best like representation. I say there's no one better who could play that. This one's tough. This one's really tough. I'm gonna go with a no. It just misses though. It's right up there with Old School. It just misses. I was it's really funny.
So I'm the deciding one in this case, and it's funny. I just watched Sarah Marshall for the very first time a few weeks ago, and yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was hilarious. Jason Segel he was awesome as both a writer and an actor. Mila Kunis was great. Russell Brand was pretty awesome. Paul Rudd nearly stealing the show as the surfing instructor. The whole time I was watching it, I was just thinking like, why am I not watching the Dracula puppet musical? But nevertheless, I'm gonna give it a yes. I'm gonna put Forgetting Sarah Marshall on the list. And with that, we are back to me. And looking at our list, pretty standard, pretty good comedies. I want to go a little outside the box. I want to go with a genre that's seldomly done well. But when it is, you really appreciate it. I want to experiment with bounds of comedy. I'm going with a horror comedy, probably not the one you think. I'm going with Zombieland. People have heard this is the American Shaun of the Dead, but no, Zombieland is like first time I watched it, I was like super impressed. They really make effective use of making jokes in the world of zombies taking over. They really turn out the comedy in there. Jesse Eisenberg plays a really good straight man. Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee always gets a great laugh. Once again, Emma Stone is fantastic. Abigail Breslin, when you could put her in movies, what the hell happened to her? Doesn't matter. She still has Zombieland on her resume. I think Zombieland is an absolutely hilarious comedy, and yeah, I think we should try to get something a little different on this list. Let's get a horror comedy on there. I'm gonna go to Zach first. So Zach, Zombieland, does it make top 7?
So you got me really hyped because I thought you were going to say something that I forgot to put on my list. At least remind me to put on the list, and then you changed your mind and went for something more in the mainstream. And I'm ready for something a little odder. Zombieland's fun, but I don't really ever feel a need to return to it. So it's a no.
All right, so that is one no for Zombieland. I'm gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, Zombieland.
I do love Zombieland when it's called Shaun of the Dead. So there. And well, it's been a long time.
Or Adventureland.
Well, yeah, that. Well, okay, as I thought. I never saw some. Well, thank you, Zach. Okay. Crap, you lost my thought. Okay.
Is that a yes or no? Just give your answer.
Okay. Okay. It was a no because even though I never watched it for a very long time, though, so even though when I remember watching it, I felt like other comedies use that sort of premise. But when I said about Shaun of the Dead, they used a better premise of the idea of it right here. So I'm actually giving it a no, though. Okay.
Malcolm, Zombieland, does it make top 7?
How many spots are left?
2.
Yeah, I'm going to give Zombieland a yes. I mean, it's a great movie. I mean, the performances by Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg are great, and it's got a lot of comedy in it. So,
all right, means Jeff, you are the deciding vote. So does Zombieland make top 7?
I mean, I like movies that can take a simple premise and give it a new spin on it, and Zombieland definitely did that. However,
of course,
there's always the however. However, it's a long one. However, it's another one that's a just miss. I don't think it ranks up there in top 7, top 10 easy. But I give it praise for it taking the genre and doing something new with it. So unfortunately, it's a no.
All right, so that is it. Zombieland does not make top 7, but Jeff, you get the next nomination, so go ahead.
All right, this might be a little bit of a. I don't know how many people I'm going to reach on this one, but I hope I reach at least one person, maybe here or in the chat.
Oh dear God!
No. I would say some of you might be with me on this one because not only was this a funny movie, it spawned at least one good Netflix spinoff, and the other one was kind of, but Wet Hot American Summer. This movie was so freaking funny. I'll say when it was released, I think nobody really cared about it. Nobody really seemed to get it. I think it's just the humor didn't really sit with everybody at first. But as time grew on, it just aged like fine wine, and it just got funnier and funnier and funnier. Christopher Maloney as Gene is probably the best character ever put in a comedic performance. He is absolute gold in this movie. It is just so funny. Wet Hot American Summer, at least, it deserves to be talked about right now.
All right, so Wet Hot American Summer is up for top 7. And yeah, I think this is a movie that I didn't, even when it came out, I didn't think got enough credit because I want to say it's like a 30, like in the low 30s on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think it was really like ahead of its time as far as like the whole like parody genre. Yeah, you have a great cast. You have Amy Poehler, Bradley Cooper, theater teachers always get a laugh. Paul Rudd's really funny in this movie. Great performance from Janine Garofalo, Michael Showalter. So many like hilarious people in this film that yeah, I'll give it a yes. I'm gonna go to Zach next. Zach, Wet Hot American Summer, does it make top 7?
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped. I was scared of saying this because I just thought it'd be a no. I mean, so many people, it was a bomb when it came out, and I maybe it was ahead of its time. But there's something really wonderful about just watching people have fun together. And this cast just looks like they're having so much fun together. It automatically puts me right in the moment, and it's just so ridiculous and over the top. That makes it work. I don't reference movies or quote movies often, but I reference some moments from Wet Hot, like Paul Rudd letting all the kids die. The best lifeguard, because they need to learn how to swim, so they either die or figure the fuck out. Good job, Paul Rudd.
Look at you. Yes.
I'm a yes. Oh, show.
Okay. Cool. So that is it. Wet Hot American Summer makes top 7. Malcolm, Jonathan, your votes didn't count. So, Malcolm, what would you say about Wet Hot American Summer?
That would have been a hell yes for me. It's a great movie. I rewatched this recently. It holds up. Let's not forget, it's got a great performance from one of the goats of the Schmodown in there, Sam Levine.
Sam Levine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
All right. And Jonathan, what would you say about Wet Hot American Summer?
Same thoughts as you, but unfortunately, I would have given him no, though. That's not a knock on the movie, though. Even it's ahead of its time, yes, but I wouldn't put it on the top 7, though, even though our comedies a little better than that. That's not a knock on the movie. It just, I felt like it's just a little bit more edge to it right here, though. So that's my thing.
I'll probably end up watching it later, but either way, Jonathan, you are up next. So your next nomination. There's one more spot left, so keep that in mind.
Wow. Hold on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Man. That's the hardest thing about it is I have legit 7 or 8 movies on my list right here, and
pick one.
Okay. All right, screw it. You know what? I'm gonna get this one out of the way right here. I just want to flat out say it. The Jump Street movie, 21 Jump Street.
21 Jump Street. That's your nomination.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So 21 Jump Street is up for top 7. I'm gonna go to Jeff first. Jeff, 21 Jump Street is make top 7.
Funny movie, enjoyable. Who knew Channing Tatum was actually pretty funny?
Channing Tatum was good.
Yeah, I would say who knew Channing Tatum was actually that good. But I'm gonna go with a no on this one. I would say it's a good movie. I just haven't seen it recently enough to really get a better feel for it. So I'm gonna go with a no.
All right, I'm gonna go to me next. And yeah, talk about a movie that like nobody had any expectations for. And chalking up to the bingo slice when they were touring, when they're premiering this movie at South by Southwest, I actually met Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. They talked like a nauseam about like how much they were like drawn to this project. And yeah, you know what? Between the absurdity of the premise, the whole meta aspect of it, the smart writing, and just the great chemistry between the two leads, I will give 21 Jump Street a yes. I'm gonna go to Zach next. Zach, 21 Jump Street.
I'm gonna say no because I have an ego problem and I need more time on screen and more time to give nominations. So I'm gonna no.
Oh, that's the reason.
Action comedies just don't always vibe for me. I just
Ego
kinda get
problem
distracted.
is so close to O for me, but damn it.
Ego problem?
I'm still playing bingo.
So close. You just missed the O. All right. So, Malcolm, you were the deciding vote. 21 Jump Street to make top 7.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Harley. If you're out there, I still haven't seen them, so I can't
Oh,
say yes.
oh, burn. All right, that hurts. But either way, 21 Jump Street does not make top 7.
Sorry, Harley. I tried.
Well, Zach, you are one nomination away from getting your screen time again, because Malcolm, it is your nomination.
Yeah, so this is hard because I've got about 3 that I want to bring up. I'm going to go for another Ryan Reynolds because I'm determined to get one of the songs.
God damn it.
I'm going to go for Van Wilder Party Liaison. This was, I think this was his first big comedy that he brought out in this time, and it's really great. I rewatched it just the other day, and it still holds up, and the comedy in it is still really great. It was just one of those ones where you just watch and just have a lot of fun and fun times watching it.
Okay, real quick, I had to look up Van Wilder Party Liaison. Like, that's not the title. That's the international title. So, Van Wilder, for all the Americans, is on upper top 7. I'm gonna go to Jonathan first. Jonathan, Van Wilder, does it make top 7?
No, because I never saw it.
Wow, that's kind of ironic. But Jeff, I'm pretty sure you've seen Van Wilder.
I've seen Van Wilder.
Be right back, guys. I need to get something real quick.
Van Wilder, funny, doesn't hold up well. I mean, I'll make this short, sweet, to the point. No.
Okay. Yeah, same boat as Jeff. Pretty funny, doesn't hold a candle to anything else that's on the list or anything that could else be nominated. Wow, really struggling for words. You got the Zach Ford syndrome. But yeah, either way, it's a no. So Van Wilder does not make top 7. But Zach, what would you have said about Van Wilder?
Yeah, Malcolm just doesn't learn. Ryan Reynolds doesn't. Ryan Reynolds wasn't good when he ran a pizza shop, and he's not good when bro we fuck like isn't Van Wilder. It is a definite no.
Jesus. How many times do you have to teach this lesson, Malcolm?
Surely that's a bingo slice. Malcolm never learns his lesson.
I think Malcolm
we'll put it up for
watches
discussion at the
Ryan
next
Reynolds
meeting.
movies.
Yeah, I'll put it up for discussion in the next meeting. So, Zach, you get the next nomination.
I feel bad going off with Malcolm because he's just such a nice fella. So I'm just going to straight up pander to him right now. It's not Ryan Reynolds, but it is from his homeland and brought us one of our best comedic minds today. And that's What We Do in the Shadows, the proper horror movie, you should have said. You probably don't realize it was art because I did. I looked it up. What We Do in the Shadows is a great horror comedy, especially more on the comedy side. Taika Waititi just has the wonderfully, dry humor that surprisingly can translate to different genres. But it's just funny throughout. Jermaine Clement is, a star that is hiding in the shadows, no pun intended, for a while, and he's really great too. So yeah, What We Do in the Shadows, hilarious movie. Yeah, that's my.
Oh, please! I hope this comes full circle to me. But What We Do in the Shadows up for top 7, so I'm gonna go with Kiwi first. Malcolm, does What We Do in the Shadows make top 7, knowing very well he could get kicked out of his homeland if he says no?
Damn it, Zach, why'd you put me in this position?
Do you want to be a citizen or not?
I'm gonna say yes because I do like it, and I do think it belongs on the top 7. Whether it stays in the top 5 it'll be yet to be seen.
Would it have been better if Ryan Reynolds played one of the werewolves in the background?
All right. Maybe, possibly. So that's one yes for What We Do in the Shadows. Going to go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, What We Do in the Shadows. Have you seen it? Does it make top 7?
Yes, I've seen it, but I'll give it a no. That's not a knock on the movie. That's a knock on the humor, though. But even though it's very funny, similar. Is just missed the list though. It just kind of missed. It was actually very close. This one or another was on my list though, so I'm actually giving it a no.
All right, that's one no for What We Do in the Shadows and one yes. Gonna go to Jeff. Does What We Do in the Shadows make top 7?
Oh, this is tough. I was like, because I really did think about this movie for a while, and yeah, this movie was so fun when it came out. It really nobody expected this one to be as good as it was. Oh man, I was we're getting into that part of the list now where there's a lot of good stuff left that we got to say no to. But I'm gonna go with the yes on this one.
That seals it. What We Do in the Shadows makes top 7. We didn't get to me because look, I think anybody probably was best of all. I'm a huge fan of Taika Waititi. I think the dude's amazing. I think he's incredibly talented. He's very funny. This is quite possibly my favorite movie of his. So yeah, I definitely give it a yes. 2015 was not a good year for mainstream comedy, and that was by far the funniest movie I saw that year. So yeah, I would definitely give it a yes, which means our top 7 is sealed. So we have the top 7. Let me remind you. Actually, before I do that, why don't we go into our honorable mentions? So Zach, I'm gonna let you go last because I know because you always have the longest list.
But then I might cancel out most of other people's nominations.
You might. Actually, I'll have you go first. So, Zach, give us your own mentions.
Buckle your seatbelts, everybody. We have a list of 70 things. But for real, about 24. Okay. The ones that I was really ready to say, we get really brotastic on these lists sometimes. So Bridesmaids probably should have been mentioned.
Yeah.
It's really great.
I would have said Bridesmaids yes if I got mentioned back. So
yeah,
that was my
I was
fault.
close to saying that, but I just wanted to make Malcolm feel good and talk about New Zealand. Also, Obvious Child is a movie I love, but I figured half of you haven't seen it.
I've seen it.
Yeah, I know you have, but you don't like it as much as me, so fuck you.
I like it. I like it.
Not enough! So you don't understand fandom. If they don't like it to the same quality as you, that makes you an asshole. Also, can we just acknowledge that Paul Rudd, the MVP of comedies this year, because we have 4 on our top 7 list, and easily I Love You Man is probably my favorite of all of them and didn't even get mentioned. And also a lot of people love Role Models, but not quite on my list. In Bruges and Lobster, both for something I thought about mentioning. Once again, didn't think a lot of people might have seen those. Some of my favorite movies are technically R-rated comedies, but it's not really what I respond to, like High Fidelity, Squid and the Whale, anything by Wes Anderson and Noah Baumbach in general. But not necessarily why I respond to them as a comedic. So, and I think I'll give up there. I'm done. And Greta Gerwig movies, Miss America, Frances Ha.
Okay, of course. All right, so gonna go to Malcolm. Malcolm, any honorable mentions?
Yeah, I've got a few. I know a lot of people in the chat would be expecting me to say movie 43, but no.
No.
But
Name one joke. It's funny. Name one.
Accident on the bingo map.
Hey, I mean, for me, movie 43 is a movie that's so bad it's good. But I mean, I wouldn't have nominated anyway because I do agree it is a bad movie. So I mean, but
Yeah,
anyway,
no.
my actual honorable mentions will be like, I enjoyed Sausage Party a lot. This Is the End. A lot of other Seth Rogen movies would have been up there. And I can't think of anything else that hasn't actually already been mentioned. So.
All right, going to Jonathan next. Any honorable mentions you have?
One of my honorable mentions, if I could have said been next, I would have said Bridesmaids. That was my honorable mention. It was sort of tough to keep it on there. Bridesmaids, I kind of hurt myself there. Girl Strip is my another honorable mention right over here. Spy is another honorable mention. Is my second favorite coming out of 2015, behind What Do You Do in the Shadows. And also Tropic Thunder was another one right here. I sadly just got cut out. And also the first Hangover film.
Right, I want to add on to Tropic Thunder real fast. When I was doing my Full Metal 5 brand trust meeting with Paul Oyama before this, Paul Oyama, an extra for 2 seconds in Tropic Thunder. So next time watch it, so that's true. He's in Tropic Thunder somewhere. Maybe he gets shot. That might be interesting.
He lied. He secretly plays the kid who's the leader of the village.
I'm assuming he was like 13 years old at this time, if not younger, maybe even like 10. So look for a young version that looks like Paul Oyama.
Okay. I thought Paul Oyama played Tom Cruise.
Jeff. That was Robert Downey Jr. playing Paul Oyama.
He made himself shorter and moved his eyes. Jeff, any honorable mentions from you?
So just looking out, like a lot of the stuff already got mentioned. Some of the stuff that didn't get mentioned. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. That was always a fun one for me. Wedding Crashers was a good one. Super Troopers. One that I don't know if many people consider a comedy. I always really liked this one. Thank You for Smoking. That was always one I really, really enjoyed. Oh god, what was the other one I was just thinking of? Damn it, I just had it in my head. Oh, that's a good enough list.
Okay.
Idiocracy. That's it.
Idiocracy.
I just saw it. Somebody mentioned it in the chat.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Wait a minute. Can I say one more comment? I almost forgot about this movie. Right. I just saw it like a couple of weeks ago. I kind of watched this because it would have been Service birthday a couple of weeks ago. Called Death to Smoochie. Death to Smoochie.
Okay, sure.
R.I.P. Robert Williams.
As far as our mentioned, get mentioned pretty much everything. But a few more I'll throw out. I think Zach said mentioned Adventureland. Role Model thing is pretty funny. Really any of the Harold and Kumar movies I would have thrown up there. One that I would have nominated that I know none of you have seen is a movie called Bill. It's this British comedy that I just discovered one night and I really liked it.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, I love that movie a lot. Martial America is a very underseen one. All my honorable mentions are really underseen. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, The Big Sick, Girls Trip. I could have seen throwing up Tucker and Dale versus Evil, Hot Tub Time Machine, and really that's. Oh, and Paul. Paul, I will definitely throw up there. So that's really all my honorable mentions that I have.
It's like the Edgar Wright, not directed by Edgar Wright. So basically,
Paul is pretty much. So that's it. So running our top 7, we have Superbad, Knocked Up, Hot Fuzz, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Wet Hot American Summer, and What We Do in the Shadows. This is a really solid list. I think this list is great.
Well, it's okay.
Okay, well, we get to try and course correct because we now have to cut 2 of these, which has always been proven problematic in the past. But we're going to do it again. So, what works is the antithesis of round 1. We will have someone will nominate a movie to get knocked off. And 3/5 majority vote says it gets off the top 7 to not move on to top 5. So we do this until we cut to. This can go on for. I've actually seen this can go on for a little bit. So since Jonathan, so to speak, up first, we're gonna make him pick the first movie to get cut.
Where are the movies again? Just want a quick recap.
You got Superbad, Knocked Up, Hot Fuzz, 40-Year-Old Virgin, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Wet Hot American Summer, and What We Do in the Shadows.
Okay, I got it. Not done.
All right, so picking Knocked Up to get knocked off. So I believe Zach put this on. So Zach, does Knocked Up stay or does it go?
No, that's a bad choice. Okay, just bad decisions being made all around. So I vote Jonathan to get off the panel. That's my pick.
Well, you don't have that kind of authority, but either way, Knocked Up does.
I gotta re-sign my contract as
Yeah, we need to go over the terms of your contract. You don't have that power as of yet, but so that is one vote for Knocked Up to stay on. I'm gonna go to Malcolm next. Malcolm, does Knocked Up stay or does it go?
Knocked Up was going to be the first one I was going to suggest for knocking off as well. So I think it should be knocked off.
Ooh, all right. 2 votes to take Knocked Up off the list. I'm gonna go next. I say it stays. I definitely say it stays. And for the deciding vote, we're gonna cut to the guy with the actual baby. Zach, does Knocked Up stay or does it go?
I'm Zach, and I don't have a baby, unfortunately.
Why
I believe the name you're looking, the most whitest name you could think of.
I meant to say Jeff. Jeff, does Knocked Up stay or does it go?
Knocked Up stays. I mean, why would this even be outside of the top 5? Come on.
All right. So, sorry, the cool guy. You do not get a Zach rant, at least not yet, because Knocked Up stays and moves on to top 5. Zach, I'll give you the next cut. What do you think should be knocked off a top 7?
Yeah, so all these are good movies, and I just think 2 of them just don't age as well, and just don't have, even though a couple of the ones I have stayed don't have that much heart, but these don't reach me deep down in my soul as some of the others. And 40-Year-Old Virgin is and I kind of just blame Steve Carell doesn't hit me as hard as some of the other leads do. So 40-Year-Old Virgin is what I vote to get off.
All right. 40-Year-Old Virgin is up for top 7. It's up for getting knocked off top 7. Going to go to the one who put it on. Jeff, does that stay or does it go?
I think it stays. I mean, I think it really does stand. I mean, yeah, some of the humor might be a little dated, but I think the movie as a whole just flows really well, and I think that the humor lands like 95% of the time. So I think this should stay easy.
Okay, so that is one yes for 40-Year-Old Virgin staying. I'm gonna go next. I say 40-Year-Old Virgin. I also say that it stays on the list. Gonna go to Jonathan next. Jonathan, 40-Year-Old Virgin, does it stay or does it go?
It does stay.
All right, so that seals it. 40-Year-Old Virgin is also locked into the top 5. Malcolm, what would you say? 40-Year-Old Virgin, does it stay or does it go?
I was actually going to side with Zach on this one. I think it shouldn't be top 7.
All right, well, I'm going to go to Jeff for the next cut.
Yeah, I'll say like this is tough. Like as far like every one of these movies could easily be in the top 5, but just looking at it right now, I'm going to go with Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
All right, Forgetting Sarah Marshall is opting to get forgotten. I'm going to go to, I think the one who put it on first, I'm going to go to Zach. Does Forgetting Sarah Marshall stay or does it go?
Yeah, once again, we need more movies with vampire puppets. It would make everything better.
I will agree on that statement, though.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I highly agree on that.
And spend so much less energy shouting and cursing if there's just more vampire puppets or puppets in general. Let's just replace Ryan Reynolds with a puppet. It'll be fucking great. As long as he doesn't voice the puppet. But it stays on.
I don't know what it is you have against Ryan Reynolds. Adding that one to the list.
I don't actually really like
Ryan Reynolds. But going to me, had there either been more Bateman or the entire movie been the weird vampire puppet musical, I would say keep it on. But since they did none of those things, I am knocking it off. That's not the real reason I'm knocking it off. I really do love Forgetting Sarah Marshall, but I think that's one of the weakest ones on this list, so I'm gonna say it takes off. Going to Malcolm next. Malcolm, does Forgetting Sarah Marshall stay or does it go?
I think it should be kicked off.
Okay, so that seals it. Zach, I'm sorry, but Forgetting Sarah Marshall does not move on to top 5. Actually, Jonathan, what would you say? Forgetting Sarah Marshall, would you say it stays or it goes?
I would say it stays, though. As I say, it's more funnier than the last 2 selections we're trying to get off, so I would say a stay.
All right. I'm going to go to me next. I'm going to get some very questionable stares, but it's probably my least favorite of all of these. I'm going to say Wet Hot American Summer gets the boot. I want the summer vacation to end, so I'm not going to kick off Wet Hot American Summer. Jeff, I believe you put this on. Does Wet Hot American Summer stay or does it go?
See, this is tough. This is tough. I mean, I know I nominated it, and there are a lot of good options, but oh god damn. No, I think it stays. I think a lot of the humor really holds up. I think everything works really well. So I'm gonna go with yes.
All right, Jonathan, does Wet Hot American Summer stay or does it go?
Unfortunately, it has to go though. So even though I find it very funny though, even I like the TV show they did on Netflix right here, just the first season of it right here though. I'm actually gonna give it a little boot though. And to compete with other comedies, I don't think it's sort of close to that. So I'll give it the boot.
First, I do want to go Polyama. Yes, I do not like anything summer based as much as I'd like Phineas and Ferb. But Phineas and Ferb was, I even though it's not R-rated, I would nominate Phineas and Ferb across the second dimension for this list. It would make no goddamn sense, but I would do it anyways. Zach,
It's not
American Summer.
I just heard a bunch of gibberish. Okay. First of all, look out for my movie coming out. The sequel to Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I got the rights, called Forgetting Chance Ellison, featuring nothing but puppets. Coming out soon, because Wet Hot American Summer is genius. So it stays.
Okay, so Malcolm, you're the deciding vote. Wet Hot American Summer. Does it? Wet Hot American Summer from the Kiwi. Does it stay or does it go?
Wet Hot American Summer stays.
All right,
Yeah.
that's locked in.
Malcolm did something right for the first time in his life.
All right, well, Malcolm, you get the next cut.
Well, looking at the three that's there, the one that I think is the weakest is Superbad. I think Superbad should be booted.
All right, Superbad is up for top 7. I put this in, and I say that it absolutely stays. Going to Zach, get my back. Superbad, does it stay?
Yeah, so I think because this is one that was such an important part of me when I was a teenager and never really returned to it as an adult, I think it is something that is kind of more for teenagers and maybe doesn't age well as you get adult. So I'm going to say it goes off list.
God damn it, Zach. You're definitely going to reorganize your contract. Jeff, Superbad, does it stay or does it go?
I'll say it was between this and What We Do in the Shadows for me for getting the boot. I think because based off of sentimental reasons, Superbad should stay. I'll say What We Do in the Shadows is good, but I think Superbad is just a tiny bit better.
All right, Jonathan, and knowing very well that this is going to dictate whether or not you come back to this show, Superbad, my nomination. Does it stay or does it go?
We'll start our own show, Jonathan. Fucking whack.
Wow. It's very tough. If I even though I will give it yes.
So wait, that yes it stays. Yes it goes.
I give it a yes. It stays.
Thank the Lord. Okay.
Don't give in to threats, yo.
I'm sorry.
Koyama says, by the way, that he should be the new co-host because I have gone off the rails. It's like Paul's never watched a show with me before.
Yeah, this is kind of like tried and true. Jeff, I will go back to you for the. Oh wait, no, that's everybody. So Jonathan, you get the next cut. Actually.
Okay. The next boot, I will keep my favorite comedy on the list, and I will boot off. What do we do in the shadows?
Okay. So what we do in the shadows is up for being kicked off. I'm gonna go to Zach first because he nominated.
I mean, we're pretty much saying What We Do in the Shadows or Hot Fuzz at this point, and like I had on my list, I have What We Do in the Shadows higher than Hot Fuzz, but I think Hot Fuzz is more important, like marker for comedy during this era. As Edgar Wright needs to be represented somewhere on the list, so I say it stays. Or I say What We Do in the Shadows goes. Sorry.
No. You already said it stays. So okay. Going to me next. Yeah, I love both of these films, but I wish you guys just put American Summer off. But yeah, I gotta agree. I think What We Do in the Shadows, great film, but I think I don't think it stands to the benchmark of the other comedies. So that is it. We have our top 5. What we do in the shadows is off. Malcolm, Jeff, you guys are not going to vote. I'm going to go to the non-New Zealand citizen first. Jeff, what would you say? What we do in the shadows? Did it say or did it go?
Well, I said it was between this and what was it? The
Hot Fuzz?
no, Super Bad. It was. I was say this. I'll say it's tough. I like What We Do in the Shadows, but Edgar Wright is. If he's not representing the top 5, there's a serious problem with this list. So yeah, I would have been yes to get it off.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna get Customs on the phone right now just in case. So Malcolm, what would you have said about What We Do in the Shadows? Would it have stayed or would it have gone?
Yeah, like as I said when I said it should be on, whether or not it makes the top 5 was depending on what was left when in this stage, and I would have said that I would have been okay with it getting kicked off. So because I love Hot Fuzz more.
You're lucky my phone plan is not New Zealand's not in my phone plan, or else he'd be gone. But either way, we have our top 5. So our top 5 goes as follows: it is Superbad, Knocked Up, Hot Fuzz, The 40-Year-Old Virgin, and Wet Hot American Summer. So now we come to the ranking portion of the show. We're all going to take our whiteboards, paper, whatever, and we are going to rank these. The way it's going to work is a spot is going to be up for for voting, and we're going to write down what movie we believe deserves to go in that spot. So, gentlemen, if you all write down what movie you believe deserves to go in the number 5 spot.
Hold on.
And I got to give you guys extra time just because Zach always likes to give his little illustrations.
I prepped ahead of time.
Oh, of course you did.
I wrote like a whole novel.
Wrote a whole picture book. All right. It looks like everyone is about ready. I'm gonna go first. I have Wet Hot American Summer number 5. So I'm going to Jeff. What is your vote?
I voted Superbad.
Okay, Jonathan.
Knocked Up.
I have nothing prepared if we all have 5 different movies.
I had Superbad.
Okay, and Zach.
I was really hoping it was 5 different movies because I have 40-Year-Old Virgin.
So close, but wait, what does it say? Hold on.
Wait, what does it say?
It says, "Will you have sex with me?"
I don't know what happened.
Why won't you have sex with me?
It's the khakis.
Okay, and for those of you who had a Zach Ford illustration at you got bingo. Congratulations,
This is
ladies.
not as good as my fish sex picture from the best movies of 2017.
No,
Paper
it was
Wonder.
not. That will always reign supreme, and as far as like Zach Ford drawings. But either way, Superbad is at number 5. Now, if you all write down what should go on the number 4 spot on the list.
Oh, I erased my fucking picture. Damn it.
Which, by the way, another spot needs to be on Full Metal 5 bingo. Changing your vote when your first pick didn't get on. that definitely needs to be a slot.
That's a
The
good
one
one.
thing I've been able to implement.
All right, so I believe that's it. We're gonna start with Jeff this time. Jeff
Went with Knocked Up.
All right, Jonathan.
Oh, still Knocked Up.
Still Knocked Up. Malcolm.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
Zach.
40-Year-Old Virgin.
All right, son of a bitch. I still have Wet Hot American Summer. So I now have to change my vote between Knocked Up and actually I'm gonna keep in suspense. I'm gonna write it down. So the Knocked Up or 40-Year-Old Virgin?
I mean, both those movies go well together.
Yeah, they do.
The 40-year-old
As soon as he was de-virginized, he knocked her up.
And I'm pretty sure the title of a parody, the 40-Year-Old Virgin, that was Knocked Up or something like that.
I love both these versions, but Sorry, Katherine Heigl. You bring Knocked Up down. So Knocked Up is at number 4. All right, now write down what you believe goes in number 3 spot on the list.
I already wrote it down, but I changed it last minute.
All right. I'm going first because y'all know damn well I got the same thing. Wet Hot American Summer. Gonna go to Zach next.
Yep, 40-year-old virgin. This has been really easy for me.
Yeah, right. You only had to do one. No drawing this time. What the hell?
No, I erased it the first time, and I don't think I have that edge anymore.
Malcolm.
Hold on.
40-year-old virgin.
All right. Jonathan.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. I'll go to Jeff first then.
40-year-old virgin.
Well, it doesn't matter what Jonathan said anyways because 40-year-old virgin is sealed in.
I was going to draw a drawing real quick. It might be a funny gag, but I'll send it later.
Yeah, just do it for the next one. Do it for number 1. So now we have to vote for the number 1 movie on the list. So is it going to be Hot Fuzz or is it going to be Wet Hot American Summer?
Oh, wait. Damn it.
Dak really needs to get his drawing straight. So
No, even though this is my 20th time on the show, I forgot the rules. And the fact that you just said it. I don't listen.
Of course you don't. How do you pick your students list if you don't listen yourself? All right. So if everyone's ready, I'm going to go to Jeff first. Jeff, what is your number 1?
This was surprisingly tough, but I gotta go with Jane. Wet Hot American Summer.
All right. Jonathan.
The number 1 R-rated film for me. My, here come the fuzz.
All right, we got one for Hot, one and one. Malcolm.
Wet Hot American Summer.
All right. I'm gonna go to me next because I have Hot Fuzz. So that comes down to you.
Top. I have Wet Hot American Summer.
That seals it. Woo! All right. So our top 5 is number 5 is number 5, Superbad. Number 4, Knocked Up. Number 3, The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Number 2, Hot Fuzz, and the number 1 R-rated comedy of the 2000s and beyond is Wet Hot American Summer. Either way, no matter what the ranking, really solid list. I want to thank my panel for coming on. I want to thank you people for watching. Leave a comment, like, share, subscribe. Join the Full Metal Media Facebook page. We do this. We're going to start doing this once again every week. I'm going to get a new topic all the time, new guests, and also Zach Ford because, anytime I need him, he's there. I'm Chad Ellison. I'm your host, and I will see you next time.